Hello everyone, today we're going to complete our lesson which is about bottlenose dolphins. As we read the text before, we're going to start with some aspects such as a short summary, reading skills, vocabulary skills, and vocabulary strategy, as well as doing some exercises in the practice book. Let's begin first with the short summary of the text. As we know, the genre or the type of the text is scientific nonfiction, which means that it is a realistic text. It provides us with pieces of information about dolphins, specifically bottlenose dolphins. They are the most common type of dolphins, and throughout the text we can see and analyze the scientific studies that they have done on these dolphins to study them, as well as studying their lives. The text also deals with one of the ways the bottlenose dolphins use to communicate with each other: whistles. It defined the use of whistles. Scientists thought that every member of the group exchanged whistles when they meet another group. However, they found out that only one dolphin exchanged whistles with another one from the second group. They wrote 4 possible options stating the reasons behind exchanging whistles only by one dolphin when 2 groups of dolphins meet together. Now, let's talk about the reading skills. The reading skills in this lesson is mainly about citing evidences and making inferences. The inferences is what we understand from the text when we read it. The evidence is what is mainly stated clearly. Now, the authors of informational text, and since it's an informational text, guys, they often make explicit or direct statements of what they want readers to know. However, an author may also hint an important fact or idea rather than stating it explicitly. Then you have to make an inference, you have to make your guess, you have to state what the author means based on the textual evidence and based on what you truly understand. Now, in this example, if we are going to read it, it is directly taken from the text. As you can see, the word that is underlined suggests. Let me read the example first. In captivity, a dolphin will emit its signature whistle if separated from the rest of its group. This suggests that the whistles could act as contact calls, which they continuously make to stay in touch. Now, the word suggest, if you notice over here, is underlined, and sometimes it leads up to the readers to draw your own conclusion. Now, suggest, if you're going to talk about the signature whistle, it suggested that the whistles could act as contact calls, while you are free to make your own inference. Practice and apply. Now, in this exercise, you have to read the example, such as, let us read the script below. Then we have to make an inference about the signature whistles based on this quotation. The underline, you have the evidence. The signature whistles seem to act like badges of identity. One dolphin can learn information about another by listening to it whistle, but they are not entirely like human names. Now, if you look at the underlined phrase, they are not exactly or entirely like human names, you would see that the dolphin signature can be compared to human names, but they are not exactly like names. And we have said that before. 2, I'm going to show you the answers later on and how did we do them. The second sentence is that, and they are not confrontational claims over territory because bottlenose dolphins don't have territories. Now, when you make your inferences, be focused on the sentence itself. When you see words like because, words like suggest, it means that you have to draw your own conclusion. Let's begin with the first one. Because dolphins hardly ever use them with their own groups. When you have because, and we are talking about whistles here, it means that the inference, that what we understand from this sentence is that dolphins do not use their signature whistles as way of staying in touch with their group. Number 2, because bottlenose dolphins don't have territories, if you go back to the text, and they're not confrontational claims over territory because they do not have territories, which means that they are not fighting over the place they are living in. So they do not use their signature whistles to define their territory. The third example, Janik thinks. Again, here the word think, just like the word because, just like the word suggest, it means that this is the keywords where you can draw your own conclusion. Janik thinks that dolphins use the whistles to identify themselves and to negotiate a new encounter. You can often see ritualized behavior sequences when animals meet. The inference, or what we get through these underlined sentences, that dolphins may or probably use signature whistles as greeting ritual. Now, we have summarized the reading skills here. It's only about the way you infer, the way you understand, the way you make conclusions when you read something. And the keywords, always remember, when you have think, when you have because, when you have suggest. This is the way you understand the text based on the information that you might get. Now, the vocabulary skills. In this section, and before we do the exercises, before we go to the practice book, we should remember the meanings of the new vocabs in the word in the lesson. And I have made them in a table like this, and you will find them in the worksheet that you will get to. You will find the word signature, modeling, mimic, distinctive, confrontational, negotiate, function, prolonged, and encounter. Next to each word, I have drawn the part of speech it is, like an adjective, it's a verb or a noun, and as well as the meaning. For example, signature, it means serving to set apart to identity. For example, the word mimic, it means to imitate closely or copy. For example, the word negotiate, it means to deal with or work through. Now, this is the page number 184 in your literary companion in your practice book. And this is practice A. As you know, you have to look at the meanings of the words, which we have done before. You have these words in front of you. And the first example or the first exercise, practice A, you have to circle all the words or phrases that can be associated with each vocabulary word. Again, students, you can circle more than one word. For example, the word encounter, it might mean meet or contact, but it would never mean forget. The word confrontational, it means clashing, because if you go back, confrontational means involving a clash or disagreement. The word function, you